ओम अज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य। एक्चुअली यू नो व्हाट, आप ट्रांसलेट कर सकते हो इनको। कॉल रूबिलास ऑल्सो। आप के वाटर डाल के नहीं तो जिसको बाद में डाल देंगे वाटर। जस्ट कॉल हिम, अदरवाइज ही विल मिस थिंग्स। Okay, so today we are going to speak on Srila Murari Gupta and Shriman Murari Gupta. That's what how his name is mentioned. And who is Murari Gupta and what contributions he has made in Gaudiya Vaishnavism? That's important to consider. But his life history is mentioned in. Kar rahe ho translate? You have to sit there probably. Well, they just sit there and there. And where is Rubilas? Why is not come? Okay. So his life history about him, we don't have much information, but whatever information we have in Chaitanya Charitamrita, some in Adi Leela and Madhya Leela, and also in Chaitanya Bhagavat we have information. Actually Baldev, Bharat translate kar he wo karta rehta hai. We have to see this, somebody has to see this. So Chaitanya Bhagavat mentions about him, about Murari Gupta, and that's pretty much there. But nevertheless, he is very important personality in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. He was a person who almost always accompanied Chaitanya Mahaprabhu right from he's a childhood friend of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right till his sannyas. Murari Gupta was present along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. ठीक है. So who is Murari Gupta? Murari Gupta is he was childhood friend of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, same class as most of the associates of Navdeep. Most of them were classmates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Gadadhar Pandit, Murari Gupta, he was there, and then I think and many others, by the way. Murari Gupta, he was a disciple of Chandrasekhar Acharya. Chandrasekhar Acharya, he is another great stalwart devotee in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. His house is still present, Chandrasekhar Acharya, near ISKCON. As soon as you exit from ISKCON main gate, you turn right, there is house of Chandrasekhar Acharya. So he was one of the elders of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who was Chandrasekhar Acharya? He was Mama of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I think he was, some Mama. I think he was related to his mother, Sachima, somewhere, Chandrasekhar Acharya. Anyway, I am not able to recall. But his guru was Chandrasekhar Acharya. Some sources speak like that. And he was a very staunch devotee of Lord Rama, right from his childhood. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached about Krishna and Radha, he actually manifested the devotion of Krishna and Radha, but Murari Gupta, he was a staunch devotee of Lord Ramchandra. That's how it happened. Now this is interesting and I'll tell you why. But Murari Gupta is a very, actually Murari Gupta, he was devotee of Lord Ram. Jiva Goswami's father, Anupam, who was later initiated as Vallabh, yeah, Shri Vallabh, I think his initiated name. He was actually devotee of Lord Rama. So we have few devotees of Lord Rama in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was strictly focused on Krishna's devotion, and that too the Shyam Sundar feature of Krishna, Vrajendra Nandan Krishna. But here we have some devotees in Mahaprabhu's Leela who are devotees of Lord Rama. In fact, Mahaprabhu met a Brahmana in South India. He also used to worship Rama, and Mahaprabhu really appreciated them. So it's not necessary that you, so you can be devotee of some other incarnation also. It's not that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not appreciate. That's Mahaprabhu is only to do with Brajanandan Krishna. That's not the idea there. Mahaprabhu actually appreciated Murari Gupta for his devotion to Lord Rama. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Murari Gupta, this comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Murari Gupta, there are two very famous verses in Madhya Leela, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the real master is one who never leaves his servant. Real master never leaves his servant, and real servant never leaves his master. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, well, even if sometimes a servant leaves a master, the master will never leave his servant. Rather, he will catch his servant by his hair, chuladhari, that's the word used, his hairs, and he will pull him back to his lotus feet. That is a real master. And these two verses in Chaitanya Madhya Leela, these are specifically quoted for Murari Gupta, because what happened was, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once he went to Murari Gupta and he said you leave devotion to Lord Rama because Krishna has more qualities than Lord Rama. Krishna is Vidagdha. Krishna is naughty. Lord Rama doesn't express this quality of naughtiness. Krishna is Rasik Shekhar. Krishna enjoys rasas, all rasas, Madhure, but Lord Rama doesn't enjoy Madhure rasa. So Vidagdha, Rasik Shekhar. Krishna is Praveen. Krishna is very expert in dealing with his devotees, especially his dealings with gopis. Lord Rama doesn't express this quality. Krishna is beautiful. He is Shyam Sundar. Lord Rama is also very beautiful, but Lord Krishna's beauty surpasses the beauty of Lord Rama. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually persuading Murari Gupta to leave Lord Rama's devotion. That's interesting. So he said, Mahaprabhu said to Murari Gupta, so why don't you worship Lord Krishna? If Lord Krishna and Lord Rama are same, but Lord Krishna's beauty and his qualities surpasses Lord Rama, so you worship Lord Krishna. So Murari Gupta, he said to Mahaprabhu, well, yeah, if you order, I have to follow. So let me think about it, because entire life I have been worshipping Lord Rama, and so I cannot really leave him. But nevertheless, you are ordering, so I have to consider this point carefully. So he goes to his house back, and in the night he tries to chant the names of Krishna, but he couldn't. Every time he was trying to chant Krishna, he was saying Rama, and he was thinking, what to do? I have to leave Lord Ram now. Chhadiya, he says, Chhadiya. I have to leave Lord Ram. So he couldn't sleep because he was caught in a dilemma. That on one side he was devoted to Lord Ram, on other side Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is himself God, who is himself Lord Ram. He is saying to leave Lord Ram. Now what do you do? And worship Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Ram, Lord Krishna both. So then in the night, he was crying. So if I don't lead Ram, so if I don't leave lotus feet of Ram, then Lord Chaitanya Prabhu is offended. And if I leave the lotus feet of Lord Ram, then Lord Ram is offended. What should I do? I'm caught in a problem. So whole night he was weeping. He couldn't sleep. The next day he goes to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he says, well, you know what, Nimai, his name was Nimai, his name was not Lord Chaitanya. He says, you know what, Nimai, I want to commit suicide because I don't have any solution. Because I can't disobey orders, at the same time I can't leave Lord Ram, so there's one option, suicide. Lord Chaitanya embraced him, and then he spoke these two verses. He told Lord Murari Gupta, you're the most fortunate because real servant is the one who never leaves his master, and real master is one who never leaves his servant. This is actually one point he makes through this pastime to all of us, that a real servant. And then Mahaprabhu says, even if his master orders him to leave him, still the servant will not leave his master. That's what makes you so special, because your master is telling you, leave Lord Ram, but you didn't do that. You defied my order. In that sense, this is the level of love I want from my devotees. So this pastime of Murari Gupta is very important for making this point. What kind of love Krishna expects from us? Even if he says to leave him, the devotee, the servant will not leave him. Just like Krishna, Ras Leela. What about that? In Ras Leela, gopis came. Krishna, so in the dead of night, gopis came to meet Krishna. But then Krishna told gopis, you please go back to your homes. Please go back. The gopis said, well, gopis didn't say anything. So Krishna said, well, it's your dharma to serve your husband. It's not good that you are here. So gopis then argued with Krishna. It's recorded in Bhagavatam. The gopis said, well, it's your order for us to go back, but in this case your order is not correct, and the logic you are giving for your order, that's not correct. You are saying, see, you have to follow religious principles and you have to go back with your husbands in the dead of night, what you are doing with another man. Gopi said, well, this is a foolish argument because you called us first of all, and now you are asking us to go back. And another point is, who is a real husband? You are the real husband of all the living entities. So Gopi said, well, we defy your order. We are not going to go back. And Krishna was very happy. So you see, sometimes you can defy the orders of God and make him happy. This is another consideration here. But the wives of Brahmanas, they were not that advanced. The wives of Brahmanas of Mathura, they came to meet Krishna. Krishna said, well, okay, you have had my darshan, now you should go back because your husbands will be waiting. So you know what Brahmana's wife told Krishna? They told, yeah, our husbands will be waiting. So please give us boon that when we go back, our husband should forget everything, that we actually left them and came to meet you. Krishna said, okay, nice. That's all. So acharyas make the point, you see, it's the same situation. Brahmana's wife came to meet, gopis came to meet, but gopis defied the order, they didn't go back. But Brahmana's wife were convinced. Actually, the whole point was, Brahmana's wife told Krishna that, you see, because you are ordering, we are going back, because we cannot defy your order. You are our master and you are ordering us. So that's also a level of devotion. Whatever Krishna says, we have to do. But here we have gopis, and in Mahaprabhu's Leela we have Nityanand Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityanand Prabhu, never come to Jagannath Puri to meet me. You just focus on preaching in Navdeep and Mayapur. Don't come back. Because in preaching in Navdeep, Mayapur, it requires a lot of focus and your presence have to be there. You cannot remain 4 months out and out away from Navdeep and Mayapur, because these people from Bengal, They used to come and visit Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every Chaturmasya, and they used to stay for 4 months in Jagannath Puri and have association with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said, you stay there, you see, it's a big job. I mean to say, so every Nityananda Prabhu still came, he defied the order. So, Prabhupada writes in the purport that to follow the orders of Krishna, that's very pleasing to him. But most elevated devotees, they can defy the orders of Krishna and yet please Krishna. So you see the ultimately this pastime of Murari Gupta, where Mahaprabhu is persuading Murari Gupta to leave Lord Ramchandra's lotus feet. That pastime is recorded by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There are many other pastimes in Chaitanya Bhagavat where Mahaprabhu revealed his form of Lord Ramchandra in Murari Gupta's in front of him. Mahaprabhu revealed his form of Lord Ramchandra, Lakshman, Sita, and there were all monkeys there with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And interesting thing was, Murari Gupta was seeing this form and this pastime in front of his eyes, and he even saw himself present there with Lord Ramchandra in form of Hanuman. And he was surprised, I am here, I am there, what's happening, I am there, I am here. He fainted. He just fainted. So actually Mahaprabhu revealed Murari Gupta as Hanuman. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote on the head of Murari Gupta, you are Ramdas. You are Ramdas. He wrote on the forehead of Murari Gupta. After this incident, when Murari Gupta couldn't leave Lord Ramchandra's lotus feet, Mahaprabhu said, well, you are Ramdas. And you will always be Ramdas. You'll always be Ramdas. So Murari Gupta, so there are many other pastimes of Murari Gupta, like Lord Ramchandra's revelation to Murari Gupta, and then Varahadev. So Mahaprabhu once he went to the house of Murari Gupta, and Murari Gupta and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was roaring Shukar form, Varahadev, and he imbibed the mood of Varahadev. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly jumped on the couch, on the table, and Murari Gupta immediately became Garuda. I don't know how he became Garuda, but Murari Gupta became Garuda. He was sitting on the floor, and Mahaprabhu jumped on him, and he sat on him, and he was saying, "I am Varaha." And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was carrying a pot, a round pot, which symbolizes the earth, was carrying in his hand, and then he was saying to Murari Gupta, move, and Murari Gupta was moving, and Mahaprabhu was shouting Hari Bol, I don't know, something. If we would have seen that pastime, we would think they're crazy people, they're mad, what they're doing. But that was a manifestation of Varahadev, a form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in front of Murari Gupta. So, I mean to say, there are many other pastimes of Murari Gupta, dealings with Murari Gupta and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Once in these pastimes are details mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So, if you want to read these pastimes, you have to read Chaitanya Bhagavat. But when Murari Gupta was young and Nimai was there and they were both classmates, Murari Gupta, he often used to fight with Nimai as friends. I mean to say, at that time Nimai, he didn't reveal his Aishwarya, his form as God. So he used to fight, and the fight used to be so bad that the fight started in the school. So the school in Bengal is called a toll. Started in the school, and they were fighting, and they were taking the mud and throwing on each other, and they were throwing the mud, and they were running up behind each other, and they were running and a whole mud, and they came to the bank of Ganges. Fighting. So I mean to say, Nimai was pushing Murari Gupta was pushing Nimai, and they were like pushing each other, they were falling, and they were like pushing. They went to the bank of Ganges, and on the Ganges, they were still fighting. and the Murari Gupta was taking mud and throwing on Nimai, and then Nimai was dodging the mud, he was dodging the mud, and that whole clump of mud, it just went on some Brahman's face part, and everybody is saying, what happened to these children? Nimai is taking mud and then he's throwing on Murari Gupta, he's dodging, and that mud then goes to some Mataji's face, and everybody was mad on the bank of Ganges. They were like, they made everybody mad. That was a relationship between Murari Gupta and Mahaprabhu. And not only that, when Murari Gupta, he went with other devotees. I mean to say, that is a relationship when they were young. But when, so it seems that the relationship of Murari Gupta and Mahaprabhu is in Sakhe. But at the same time, it's in Dasya also. Because it's something mixed, because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Jagannath Puri, and in Jagannath Puri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, and Jagannath Puri, I told all these Bengali devotees, they used to come and meet Mahaprabhu and Chaturmase. So Murari Gupta was one of them, he used to come and meet. And there Murari Gupta, so everybody goes and meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gambhira, and Murari Gupta is not there. And Mahaprabhu says, where is Murari? This kind of relationship they had, where is Murari? Mahaprabhu saw everybody, and then he was saying, where is Murari? And where is he standing? He's standing outside the room. Standing outside the room. And why he's standing outside the room? Then Mahaprabhu says, okay, call him. So then he comes in the room, and he comes with a straw in his mouth, a sign of humbleness. And he pays Dandvat. And then Mahaprabhu says, why are you standing outside? Why are you showing so much humbleness? I'm disturbed by your seeing your humbleness. So if you want to disturb God, there's one way, be humble. Otherwise, there's no way to disturb him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I'm extremely disturbed by humbleness. Just stop this humbleness. And he says, Murari, come here. So Murari says, no, please don't touch me. And Mahaprabhu runs to catch him. And then Murari Gupta is running. And then Mahaprabhu is running, and then Murari Gupta runs out of the room. Mahaprabhu is running out of the room, and then Mahaprabhu catches him, and he says, what the hell you are doing? Come here. And then he embraces him. And then Murari Gupta says a very important verse there, which is recorded in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Murari Gupta says, Kaham daridra, where I am, who am I, such a poor person? And who are you, such great Supreme Lord? There is no match between us. So only by your mercy you have accepted me. Prabhupada writes, this verse is quoted by Sudama when he meets Krishna. And this same verse is also quoted by Jiva Goswami in Gopal Champu. Exactly same. Jiva Goswami says, before starting Gopal Champu, Jiva Goswami says, where I am useless person, and where is Krishna? So great, there is no comparison. Yet I am daring to write on his pastimes. May he be pleased. It's the same sentiment there. So, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I have not seen such humbleness. He is the most humble person in my associates. Murari Gupta, he says about Murari Gupta. So what's that verse he says? About Deenta. He says to Murari Gupta, you're the most humble. Your humbleness is actually tearing up my heart. I cannot tolerate. So he calls Murari Gupta. He says, you please sit here. Now, Murari Gupta was very humble. Why? There was one reason for this, because Prabhupada writes, Murari Gupta came in the family of Vaidya, doctors, Ayurvedic doctor. And Vaidya people, these Vaidyas, they were belonging to Shudra class. They were not belonging to Brahmana class. But that's a mystery for me, because that's confusing for me, because Ayurveda cannot be done by less intelligent people. It needs a lot of brains, it needs a lot of subtlety, and I don't know how Shudra class is supposed to practice Vaidya. I mean to say, how can first of all Shudra class read Ayurveda? Because Vedas are not Shudras are not allowed to read Vedas. Only Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas can read. But here Murari Gupta is from Shudra class and he's a Vaidya, and that's a mystery to me. If somebody can solve for me, they can tell me. I have no idea how to solve this. I thought about it, but I don't know how. How can Shudras be allowed to read Veda? And Ayurveda is a part of Veda. Maybe there's an exception, I don't know. So it's a quiz for all of you today. A question. If you find the answer, please mail to me. For me to learn, I don't have an answer, frankly, I can tell you. How can Murari go through his Shudra class? He's a Vaidya, and Prabhupada writes mostly Vaidyas are from Shudra class, but then how can they read Vedas? Ayurveda. They're not allowed to read. So that's one question, but nevertheless he was. And that's why he was saying, Mui to Pamar. He was saying, I am from such a low class. And yet you are embracing me. And that's why he used to run away from Mahaprabhu. So it seems that, actually, no, not it seems. Prabhupada says in the purports there, Prabhupada says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to show through Murari Gupta, through Haridas Thakur, who was born in Yavan, Muslim family. All these people, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to show in this movement that this Sankirtan movement is applicable to all, regardless of caste and creed. Caste means Murari Gupta, Shudra. Creed means Haridas Thakur, Muslim. Entirely different religion. So Sankirtan movement is applicable, is open to all. And that's why there's one line you should remember here. It's open to all, yeah. So it's open to all of us. That's why hippies are there, all of us are there. It's open to all of us. But there's a line in Bible and it says, all are called, but only few are chosen. It's a very nice line. So there is a cliché there. All are called. We're all called, but only few will be chosen. Remember that. It's not that all of us are in movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so we'll all get prema. Only few will be chosen. So magnanimity of Mahaprabhu is that he's calling all of us, but only to few select he'll give prema. When he was present, he was also distributing that prema. That's one thing. But now, only few are chosen. So that's why Murari Gupta was very humble, and it seems that, in fact, not it seems, but Kunti Maharani says in Bhagavatam, Tvam akinchana gocharam. And if you take this word akinchan in a very literal sense, this means a person who is benefit of money, prestige, caste and everything. So that's very conducive. Janma Ishware Shruti Shri Bhir Evi Man Madhapaman. Kunti Maharani says that high birth, Aishwarya means power, Shruti means learning, Shri means money, riches. This makes people intoxicated with madness. And here Murari Gupta, he is from a low class family, and that's why he feels he's not qualified to be touched by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so it benefits. It benefits if we are not beautiful, if we are not rich, if we are from low class family. It helps us to do devotion. It's actually favorable. So through Murari Gupta, Mahaprabhu wanted to show this. It's favorable. Haridas Thakur similarly. Haridas Thakur also used to say, Mahaprabhu, don't touch me, I'm Muslim, isn't it? He used to say. Only these few people who are outcasts or who are low castes, they were, of course, they are great Nitya Parshadas and they really feel it. Their caste and creed is not the cause of their humbleness, but it adds to that. That's how it goes. So that's why Mahaprabhu was very, that's why Murari Gupta was very dear to Mahaprabhu, because he was always very humble. And Murari Gupta, there was one big quality of Murari Gupta. He used to recite Srimad Bhagavatam very nicely. In fact, he used to please Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Srivas Angan in Navadip by singing Srimad Bhagavatam verse very beautifully. And that is why, who were the friends of Murari Gupta? Now you can guess. Who were the friends of Murari Gupta? Singers. Vasudev Dutt. And who was that? Mukund Dutt. Sanjay Ghosh, Basu Ghosh. These are all singers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they were great friends. And whenever we read Chaitanya Bhagavad, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Murari Gupta's name always comes with Vasudev Dutt. You note this. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, anybody is reading Chaitanya Bhagavat, always Vasudev Dutt will be found with Murari Gupta. In Jagannath Puri also, when they came, Vrindavan Das Thakur mentions so here is Murari Gupta and here is Vasudev Dutt. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also. So they were, even by the friendship we can understand Murari Gupta was a very great singer. Although his name is not mentioned in the singer party of Mahaprabhu, but Krishna Goswami makes this point. He used to sing Srimad Bhagavatam very nicely. That was his specialty. Mahaprabhu used to listen Srimad Bhagavatam verse. So, but now here's the point. Now all these pastimes are mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavatam in very details. But this one pastime, when Murari Gupta meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling him, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Murari Gupta to leave Lord Ramchandra's lotus feet. This is explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He keeps this pastime there. Why does he choose this pastime to go in details? Why not others? There are many reasons for this. One reason is because this pastime brings out two important philosophical points. Two very important philosophical points. One point, as I mentioned, Mahaprabhu told Murari Gupta, leave Lord Ramchandra. Murari Gupta said, well, I couldn't. So one point is, as I was telling, that a devotee can defy the orders of God and yet please Him. This is a very important point you have to understand. And we can understand by this point that following the orders in itself might not please God. In itself. Following the orders of God. Following the orders of devotees might not please those devotees. That's also one perspective. Sometimes you defy the orders and they are more pleased. But that's a very rare circumstance. We can't do that. We can't just defy and say, oh, you should be pleased because I defied your orders. That's complete nonsense. But if you defy the orders of the Master in order to express love for him, then that is pleasing. Like for example, when Prabhupada was there, I think Prabhupada was there in LA, and this Janki Mataji or someone, I don't know, some Mataji, Janki or Yamuna Mataji, one of them. Prabhupada sitting on Vyasasana, and there was a painting on the top of his head. So this Janki, because they were new, they were all hippies, they were like new young people. So there was some dust. Prabhupada sitting Vyasasana and Janki came right on the side and she stepped on the Vyasasana of Prabhupada and she was cleaning the dust and trying to reach the picture. So Prabhupada said, why don't you step on my shoulder and then clean the dust? Janki immediately, what's happening? Oh my God, she got down. Prabhupada said, no problem. Prabhupada said, to serve Krishna, you can even step on my shoulder. Now that's the idea there. For service, we follow orders, and for service, we defy the orders. Like that. Both. It's like that. And the reverse is also there. If you follow the orders for your own sense gratification, then it doesn't please anyone. That can also be done. That can also be done. If you follow orders, somebody says this, but you follow it because you like it, then there's a problem. Because you like it, so I want to do it. Yeah, you may like following the orders, but more important is how does the Master like it? Now that's the whole point. So through this incidence of Murari Gupta of defying the orders, Mahaprabhu is showing us the aim and object of everything. Thinking about Krishna, following the orders, surrender, is to actually please the Master. So, and that is why it is said you have to follow orders in such a way that Master is pleased. Because you can also follow the order in such a way that the Master is completely frustrated. That's also the point. And that is why, anyway, I just remember here, one of the verses from Vishwanath, not our Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. There's a big poet, Vishwanath. So in the world of Kavya, everybody knows Vishwanath. And he writes one verse, and that verse is very interesting, and he says, I often quote it. He says that it's very easy to become yogi, it's very easy to become tapasvi, it's very easy to become an ordinary devotee, but it's very difficult to become a servant. Very difficult. Why? Because he makes the point. He says if the servant tries to go near the master, then the master will say that you are breaking maryada, you are coming too close to me. And if the servant tries to go far away from the master, then the master will say, you are avoiding me. And if the servant tries to follow the orders promptly, immediately, then the master will say, well, you don't think and you blindly follow my orders. And if the servant tries to follow the master after due thinking, then the master will say, you are a procrastinating person. You take a lot of time to follow the orders. What to do? If the servant stands and doesn't bow, then the master says, you don't bow down, there's a problem. The servant always bows down, then the master says, you're not practical. You always bow down. You should stand and talk. What's this? There's a problem. Every time there's a problem. That's why Vishwanath says, the most difficult thing in the world is to become a servant. It's not easy to become a servant. So, that's how it goes. And that is why what the Rupa Goswami says in Patyavali, there's a verse Rupa Goswami says. Rupa Goswami says, let tapasvis do their tapasya. Let yogis do their yogi. As far as we are concerned, devotees, we want to become Hari Pada Dasa Anudas. We want to become the servants of the lotus feet, of the sandals of the lotus feet of Krishna. Of the sandals of the lotus feet of Krishna's devotees. That's what, there's a verse Rupa Goswami quotes. Birth after birth, because that's the most difficult thing. If you can do that, nothing like it. But the only thing between servant and the master is you have to listen to the master. No matter what you do, you will have a tough time. No matter what you do. That's the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur trying to make this point. The idea is servants should always be ready to listen and accept what the master says. That's all. But sometimes a servant can not accept what the master says. That's the idea here. Just for his pleasure. But that's a very big, very, very high platform. We cannot imitate it. We can simply worship it. Because that needs a lot of intelligence and a lot of love. Not just intelligence, but a lot of love. A lot of love for the master. So that's one very important philosophical point in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that's why Chaitanya Charitamrita includes this pastime. Krishna Kaviraj Swami includes this pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the other point by this pastime is, Chaitanya Prabhu makes the point that the servant can never leave the master, no matter how much difficulty he faces in his life. What's happening? Mataji, something is happening there. Hare Krishna.
I'm muted.
Yeah. What was this? It's interesting. So anyway, so another important point is here that the servant never leaves the master in spite of innumerable difficulties, and that's called love. Love of God is such a situation where Rupa Goswami defines love of God. Even if there are thousands of innumerable difficulties, still the servant doesn't leave the master. And in other words, I was telling this point today morning. love of God is devoid of self-love. That's very important point there. There's no self-love. There's just love of God. These very two important points are there from this pastime. But nevertheless, Chaitanya Prabhu said, Murari Gupta, well, yeah, you love Ram and that's very nice. But in my pastime, please chant Hare Krishna. But in your mind, you think about Ram. So Murari Gupta says, now it's okay. You know what? Because I can't think of Krishna, I have to think of Ram. So Murari Gupta is a unique person. He is chanting Hare Krishna mantra but is thinking of Ram. How do you do that? That's another thing, no? We can chant Hare Rama and think of Krishna because Rama also means Radharaman. That can be done. But how do you chant Krishna and remember Ram? Because probably if you ask Murari Gupta, he will say, because Rama is all attractive. So when he's chanting Krishna, he's thinking of Ram. When he's chanting Hare, he's thinking of Sita. Murari Gupta is like that personality. But yet, he's chanting Hare Krishna. So this means you can chant Hare Krishna and you can think of any form of Lord. Hare Krishna is Maha Mantra. It includes all mantras. It includes all deities, includes all avatars. It's not reserved only for Brajanandan Krishna. Of course, we target Hare Krishna or offer Hare Krishna in the lotus feet of Brajanandan Krishna as Mahaprabhu taught us, but it's not reserved. He was a person there. Murari Gupta's Murari Gupta's house is still there. Murari Gupta was a disciple of Chandrasekhar Acharya. I already told, some sources say like that. People don't know whose disciple he was. He was not disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the way, as Rupa Sanatan was. He was disciple of Chandrasekhar Acharya. Chandrasekhar Acharya, I can't remember who was he exactly. He was, I think was a brother of Sachima. Mama. Who is Mama? Mama, I think, so mother's brother, no? Younger brother. I think he was the one. So he, Chandrasekhar Acharya, and his samadhi, his house is still there in Chaitanya in Navdeep. So if you go to Chaitanya Mutt, Gaudiya Mutt, which Bhakti Santa opened, so there's a way there besides, so just on the entrance, so you don't enter the mutt. On the side there is a way, and you walk down the path. There's a house of Murari Gupta still there. His samadhi is there in Vrindavan, Chausat Samadhi. Still you can go in Vrindavan and have the darshan of his samadhi. Of course, I think it's Pushp Samadhi, something like that, perhaps. And his contribution to Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, very important. He wrote the first biography of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is written by Murari Gupta, which is Chaitanya Charitra. Chaitanya Charitra. Some people call it as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Charitra or Chaitanya Charitra, which is written by Murari Gupta. And in that book he compiles all the pastimes of Mahaprabhu right from his childhood up to sannyas. Because after sannyas, Murari Gupta doesn't accompany him to Jagannath Puri. So he personally witnessed all these pastimes and he recorded it. He wrote it in Sanskrit. And his book then became the basis of a Bengali book, Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is written by Vrindavan Das Thakur. And he took the incidents in Sanskrit. Of course, he knew Sanskrit, but then he rendered Bengali. And then, of course, Vrindavan Das Thakur is Vrindavan Das, Chaitanya Leela Vyas. He also, things were revealed to him also personally. But his Chaitanya Bhagavat is based on Murari Gupta Chaitanya Charitra. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Adi Leela is based on Chaitanya Bhagavat and Murari Gupta's Chaitanya Charitra, because those are the two sources. And Madhya Leela, most of it, and Ante Leela are based on Sarup Damodar's Karcha, Sarup Damodar's notes. But the difference is, Murari Gupta's books, Chaitanya Charitra, is more of, let's say, more of pastimes, but Chaitanya Charitamrita is more of philosophy. That's the difference. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is like a book of tattva. Chaitanya Charitamrita is siddhantatmak, but Murari Gupta's book is more of kavyatmak, or let's say kavyatmak. It's more of pastimes with a poetic license, like that. It's a very beautiful book in Sanskrit. If you get hold of it, you can read it. Murari Gupta also Murari Gupta has also written Ram Ashtakam, in glorification of Ram in 8 verses. He offered to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So like that, Murari Gupta, today is his disappearance day. We can pray to him to give us. So what to pray to him? He is Ramdas, and that's the pastime which I quoted. Pray to him, please give me devotion, such a high level of devotion. Bless me so that I will never leave my master Shri Krishna. Please give me such kind of love, so that even if Krishna wants to reject me, I will never reject. That's the whole idea there. If Krishna wants to leave me, I will not leave him. Now that's the highest level of devotion. Asli Sheva Padratam Vinastumam. That's what also Prabhupada makes the point there. Lord Ram is saying, Lord Ram in form of Lord Chaitanya is saying, leave Lord Ram, but he doesn't do that. That's one point. So even if Krishna wants to leave us, we will not leave him. That requires a lot of love. It's not easy. That's the highest level of devotion anybody can show. Highest level of devotion. I mean to say, most of the religions, Christianity, Islam, the highest level of devotion there is the union with God, and He's all merciful. But here, Gaudiya Vaishnavism, that's even beyond that, unthinkable. That God is rejecting His devotees, and devotees are not rejecting God. How do you? We can't even imagine it. We can't even imagine this kind of level of devotion on which Murari Gupta was there. Murari Gupta is Hanuman, and he'll always be Hanuman in all the pastimes of Lord. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Murari Gupta ki jai. Any questions, anything, any comments?